Hello, my name is Dannii Cohen, and this is my showbiz story, the story of my phantoms. When I was a child, I was different. I was one of those children who were not part of the crowd. I didn't like modern music or pop culture. When other kids watched Jurassic Park, I watched Singing in the Rain. When other kids read comics during the break, I dragged around a classic novel, and I loved to sing and write. Add to this the fact that I looked different, and it was clear that I was an easy target to be bullied. And so I was, mercilessly and violently. I felt lonely and misunderstood. No one knew how I felt. That feeling lasted until one day the TV brought relief in the form of a miniseries, Phantom of the Opera with Charles Dance. Oh, the story grabbed me and filled me with all the feelings in the world. Within a day, I was a fan, dreamed of being Christine, and identified with the Phantom, with Eric. That week, my mother presented me with the Michael Crawford album of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical and the book by Gaston Leroux, and that was that.
Hij heeft mij vaak gezocht, 's nachts in mijn droom. En zong dan zacht mijn naam.
The Phantom became my shield. Down once more was the theme on my headphones as I went to school. I studied singing in earnest and became the proud owner of a Michael Crawford autograph. Later on, I got to play Christine in a music school performance. Then there was the joy of seeing Phantom live for the first time with Ethan Freeman. Ethan was the first Phantom I saw live, and he made a lasting impression. His voice and the wonderful attention to detail he brought to the role have never been surpassed for me. It was as if Leroux's Eric came to life right in front of me, a magical experience. Sadly, all this did not stop the bullying from school. In fact, it got worse. Then the Phantom of the Opera came to the Netherlands. Imagine my joy. Suddenly I heard the music everywhere, saw my favorite characters on TV shows, and, most important, I got in touch with the Phantom. Phantoms, actually. One day I decided to write Henk Poort, our lead Dutch Phantom. I wrote to him about my love for the show and what was happening in my life. And imagine my surprise, he wrote back a lovely supportive message. We corresponded for a while, him always doing his best to help me, and later on we even talked on the phone. He called me and I could even call him in his dressing room when he was in makeup. Imagine talking to the Phantom in makeup. He even called on my birthday. It was wonderful. Through him, I also got in touch with his understudy, Ben Kramer, who was just as kind. Soon we talked too, and he arranged for me to actually see the show as his guest. Despite everything else that was going on, this was such a magical time, and something I don't think would happen anymore these days. They were the gentlest and kindest men, reaching out to a deeply depressed teenager, and I will always be grateful to them for that. Time went by as it does, and the Dutch Phantom production closed. We sadly lost touch, but I hope they sometimes think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me every so often. Things changed, and for a long time I lost my love for singing because of trauma, even though the Phantom remained in my heart. But then, suddenly, lockdown. Bad time for many, but it also brought us Andrew Lloyd Webber and his online showings of his musicals. One of them was Phantom. I watched, and something clicked when I saw it. Something that had been missing in my life. My music. I knew I missed singing. My angel of music returned, and suddenly I sang once more. Angel of lover's whisper. The Phantom of the Opera is not just a tale of unrequited love. It is the story of a man who could have been one of the most talented artists who ever lived, who wanted to love and be loved, but instead he is abused from the moment he was born. He is hated, shamed and shunned. This is all he knows his entire life. He's put on display as a freak to laugh at, sold as a slave, beaten, abused. He learns, in the end, that he has no one but himself to rely on, no one but himself to protect him. And that is why he hides away. And that is what we have to learn about how society treats people who are different. And like the other musical says, love never dies. The story continues, and the Phantom of the Opera will always be inside my mind.